This one thing is going to completely change the face of the world again. So today's discussion is going to be about how barter needs to make a comeback or how it should not. These guys are going to be asking us a lot of questions. You guys need to watch till the end.
Believe me, you're gonna love it.
So I believe barter should not make a comeback. We have a very steady financial system where everything has its given value. With barter, value is always an issue. Does one chicken equal to half a cow, quarter of a cow? How many chickens equals to a cow? What goes on? Does 1 hour of work equal to 1 hour of learning? Does half an hour of learning equal to 5 hours of work? How does one decide value? There is the intrinsic problem with barter, and that is why I believe we should stick with where we are and not get back to barter.
We are already very confused about value though, right? How much should one thing cost? If I'm going to work in accounting for you for 1 hour, should I charge you this much or this much? And there are numerous companies who are charging you this much and all of it doesn't make sense. Might as well just have a system where we don't even need to give a cut to the government. We have a completely tax-free demographic, especially being founders. When you have a completely tax-free demographic, isn't that more lucrative?
How do you think you're going to digitalize barter trades?
I'm not asking you to replace the current system. I am saying that there is a huge space for barter in the system. For example, let's say you run a company that does advertisements, and let's say I run a company that makes chips. What if we have a system where I give you my monthly supply of chips while you give me your monthly supply of advertisements? And in the meanwhile, had we done it the other way around, in your digitized system, in a system where I pay you money, you receive money, I'll pay a tax, you'll pay a tax, while our businesses are just starting out. Why are we paying the taxes when we need each other's services?
Then how are you going to find people who can sell chips for some ads?
You can go and find people to sell chips to. But here it is a discussion between, if I have found you as a founder, then shouldn't we intrinsically have a barter system rather than a monetary system?
Okay, so why do you think people would prefer a barter system over a monetary kind of system that we have right now? Because the monetary system gives you a proper numbers and barter system is just another guessing game.
Because we still have the monetary system. For example, if the number of chips you're going to give me equal to 1 lakh rupees, and if my ad services equal to 1 lakh rupees, we already have something that we associate value with. But on that 1 lakh rupees, I no longer pay 18% GST, or I no longer pay any kind of service taxes.
So you're talking about businesses. So there are two businesses and they can do barter. So let's say to come here, first I took a Rapido, then I took a Metro, and then I got a thumbs up, and that's how I reach here. So like I do those exchanges via UPI. But if UPI didn't exist, then should I carry a whole loads of things to exchange throughout? Don't you think it would be so inconvenient for me?
As a business, I can have a tie-up with Rapido, I can have a tie-up with your drinking company, and I can have a tie-up with whatever else you said. And me as a business can provide you with coupons that you can then exchange for value with those guys. But again, we are not trying to complicate the system here. What we are trying to do is find big things in which there are tax incentives for companies, where the taxes can just be replaced by something like this. For example, let's say I ran a beer company and somebody came over to fix my lock. I can have a deal with them that I'll give you a package of beer and you fix my lock and we're good, right? Of course, do they want the beer or not? That's the whole discussion. But I still don't have to pay the 18%. That is a cut to the government from me. And then there are businesses who can afford that cut. And awesome. Continue with your monetary things. But barter needs to make a comeback.
So Akhil, are you trying to say that taxes should only be applicable to those who can afford them?
Absolutely not. Taxes are being applicable to the consumer here. But the businesses that are trying to create value for people, and the businesses that are trying to create these jobs which everybody asks for, and the businesses who are trying to take all of this risk upfront, those guys internally, when everything has been decided, do not need to pay a cut to the government, just so that government can incentivize more business. Because government incentive by itself is very haywire. If I see a statue being built in a random park, that money should have gone into my business. But I still need to give a cut even though I'm doing a B2B deal. That's my issue with the system. The efficiency of taxes is the issue with my system.
Do you think barter system would create better utilization of services? If I'm providing something and nobody's buying with money, maybe I can do barter of my services.
If nobody is buying with money, you're selling your services wrong. If nobody is buying what you're selling, the problem is not with what you're selling, it's about how you're selling it. Most of you are scared of starting your ads because it is scary. So let me help you. So here are the 4 things that are going to happen. You will get your first lead within 24 hours. We'll give you the exact ad to make that happen. You will have the ability to launch your full ad campaign in 4 weeks. And finally, we'll get on a one-on-one call to make sure we get rid of all your fears. So stop waiting click below and completely transform your business. By the way, here's the video.
This video is sponsored by them.
Vishnu, don't you think money causes corruption and barter system would improve and simplify the system that we have?
Does money cause corruption, or does the people behind the money cause corruption? Today, if I'm taking money from someone and there is a corrupt official or a corrupt person in the middle who's taking a cut of that money, if I'm taking goods or services from someone, can that person not take that same cut? Especially with goods, I agree with services, it might be a little harder. So that might be something that has an avenue. But even then, can the services not be shared? Can they not be that, okay, you're getting 10 hours of services, I'm going to take 2 hours of service for free?
But don't you think barter system makes it difficult for the people to do corruption?
Why? Because they can still take a part of the goods or the services that exist.
But why does corruption exist in the first place? I feel corruption exists because you're trying to evade taxes, na? है ना? Primarily it is that, oh, you're trying to evade taxes, so let's do it in cash. Because if we do a cash trade, which is effectively a barter trade, then you are saying that we don't have to pay taxes to anybody. And in case of barter, you anyways don't have to pay taxes to anybody. When it comes to services, if we are saying that, oh, I'll give you 10 hours of service or 12 hours of service, you're going to get the same service. At the end of the day, a service is about a deliverable. Let's say you have to get this house cleaned and it's going to take 8 hours, but you're like, no, you give me 10 hours, not going to get any cleaner. It's going to be the same. So what are we discussing here?
We're talking about how easy it is to get corruption out of it.
Won't it be more difficult with a barter system to get corruption? Because there are only so many things which you can do, like more barter on. And here we are talking about barter in terms of B2B deals.
Guys, let's wrap this up. You guys have 10 seconds. Give us your last thoughts and we'll decide who won.
In 2008, when the world was falling apart, India survived because of the internal barter cash system that it had. Barter system has survived the test of time, and even though we like to believe that it's completely dead, it sneaks up on us. Being a founder, I think it's the best thing that can happen to founders, especially starting out, because all of us get a lot more access than we would have had otherwise.
On one hand, we say barter system needs to make a comeback. On the other hand, we say it already exists. We really need to decide where we're standing with it. If it already exists, then why does it need to make a comeback? And if that is where we're going with it, then we have a current financial system that exists today for founders. There are tons of things that the government is doing to help founders gain more access, to help founders get more tax breaks. Literally in India here, we have a thing where companies get 3 years without paying any tax within the first 10 years of them getting started up. And that 3 years is on them. They choose when they want to take those 3 years. So the government is literally doing all that for you. So why take something which then ruins all that, doesn't give the government tax revenue, and then we as citizens complain that, oh, our country is going to shit.
So I think I'm in support of barter system coming back. If it already exists, why not do it on a large scale?
Let's go!
I think barter system exists right now. The only thing is we do barter via cash. So I think we already have this barter right now. So I believe this current financial system is perfect. So I'll go with Vishru.
So the current system that we use as of now is doing perfectly fine. So I think barter system shouldn't make a comeback.
And the winner is Vishru. Woo!